Okay, so this is the first way of rendering. This is the normal way of how I render beef fat. Okay, I've got a cast iron pan here, and I turn up the flame to high. Okay, then I pour in the fat. Right, once I hear the sizzle of the fat on the pan, it means that the pan is hot enough, and then I turn it down all the way. The whole point of turning the heat down is so that you actually render out the oil from the fat, but you don't actually burn the fat itself. So, once you get a good sizzle going, right, you need to stir it. You stir it so that the other parts of the fat actually get the heat. Already you can see that the oil is starting to render out and the fat is starting to brown. So what I do now is that I get a bowl and I get a pair of tongs and I take out the brown fat. That's okay. Now the other reason why you want to turn down the heat so that the fat actually renders is so that the rendered oil that you get, right, it doesn't actually reach its smoking point and it doesn't oxidize. Because once it reaches its smoking point, right, it starts to smoke, then it starts to oxidize, then it becomes not as healthy for you lah. Okay, this is more or less done now, so I'm going to take everything out. So I'm going to put the rendered oil inside a bowl. So there we have it here, we've got beef tallow, still quite hot. And that can be used for cooking, you can try some now if you want to. Hot. It's got a very subtle beefy flavour. Actually, it's a very good cooking oil because it's actually rather neutral, as compared to pork lard. And then you have the beef crispies, which are left over here. Now these, if you salt it a bit, there we go, a bit of salt. There we go, I added a bit of salt, very nice lah. What you can do is that you can just eat it like this. It's a snack. The thing about beef crispies is that they don't get as crispy as pork lardons, the crispy pork leftovers. The beef crispies they may get a little bit crispy, but it generally is on the softer side. I think it's because of the nature of the fat itself, but still very nice to eat.